Hey, Flosstube, Sean here with Sean P. Stitches. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. The last video I filmed was August 30th. I think it went up on the 31st. Might have even gone up on the 30th, I don't remember. It was a week after I lost my dad. And I didn't intend to stay away this long. In fact, I intended to be back weekly or bi-weekly when I filmed that video, but just a lot happened. I was dealing with a lot, especially a lot with my mom and her Alzheimer's, and I'm still dealing with a lot with that, and still a lot I need to get done that I haven't gotten done. I haven't been in the best mental place to deal with the things I need to deal with, but it's getting better. I'm starting to get in a better mental place, and it's time to get back to things I enjoy, things that bring me joy, and sharing my cross stitch with you guys is one of those things, because I got nobody else to share the cross stitch with. I can show my wife and she thinks it's cool, but that's about as far as it goes. So I'm going to do a WIP parade. This might get split into two parts, full coverage and non-full coverage. We'll see how the time goes and the space on my phone goes. I just had to struggle to get some space on my phone to film more than 12 minutes of video. So we'll see how we will see how it goes. I'm just going to barrel on, and as anybody who's been with the channel for a while knows, you get me mistakes and all. So let's not waste a whole bunch of time. I can catch you up on other life stuff in a future video. So let's just dive right into the WIP parade, because I don't know how much recording time I have. So we're going to say for right now, we're into part one, the full coverage WIP parade. And if I think I can get the non-full coverage into the same video, I'd like to, because I'd like to use this filming momentum that I have right now to get both parts done into the same video and just everything out there. And then I can just start doing updates from there. I've got things I've started, things that I've UFO'd. I probably won't mention the UFOs because I might not even remember what they are. But there's going to be some stuff that you haven't seen before, and some stuff that you may have seen in the past that you won't see this time. For people who've been with me for, if this is your first time catching one of my videos, I hope you like what you see, and I hope you consider subscribing. So I've got two big stacks of full coverage. I did a count yesterday. I think I have 55 full coverage projects. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of goals as I go along too. Because I didn't really set goals for the year. I didn't, because, you know, my stitchy bug has come and gone, and come back several times this year, just with life. So I didn't really set goals because I didn't want to just put that on myself. But as I'm approaching my 49th birthday in September, then staring down the barrel at 50, I've decided to set a few goals as to things I'd like to get finished by the time I'm 50. And I'll kind of point those out, and maybe everything else is going to be like whatever the next 5% is on the project. I don't think I'm going to go through a lot of statistics on the projects just to save time, save me scrolling through the spreadsheet, because I have it all. It's just not in any kind of like, I don't know how I filtered this last or sorted this last, so I don't know what. They're definitely not in alphabetical order. So I don't remember what the last sort I did on this spreadsheet was. So let's just get into it. First up on the pile is Lackadaisy Voodoo. This is artwork by, let me find it. Artwork by Tracy Butler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. And get this up the right way. Yeah. This is where I am at with it. I got a page done in the center, and I've just been kind of deciding what way I'm going to go from there. But you can see the paw of one cat coming in there, and then this is the strap of the gun that the female cat is holding. This is kind of a tribute piece to our first 3 cats who are no longer with us, because they just remind me of them. We had 2 boys and a girl. One was a black cat, and that's just kind of how I pictured them fitting into the picture. So this is kind of a tribute piece to them, which I need to put more work into. I did not figure out where this stuff was going when I was done showing it to you. Next is Astrology Cat. I don't remember what year. Sal, 2024. This was the 2024 Haid Sal, the first year that they started doing them again. So this is artwork by Ciro Marchetti, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, off of a larger piece. And this is where I am at with it. This is one I would like to get finished within the next year or so. And it's entirely doable. It's a small piece. So next up is writing my memoirs. Artwork is by Jeff Haney, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. And I gave myself an extra task of stitching a black border around it, because I saw a picture of it with a black border and I thought it really popped with the black. So this is where I'm at with it. You can see I've gone a few different stitching methods with this. I really haven't picked this up much this year. This might be one. There are going to be ones that I'm going to point out has possibilities for UFOs, because there are ones I just definitely don't go to. Sometimes I'll do wheel spins, and if certain ones pop up, I'll spin again because I don't feel like working on that one. Or there's just some I like the artwork, but I don't enjoy working on the piece. So this may end up being one of those. Next is Big Cats. This is artwork by Tammy Alba, charted by Tilton Crafts. This is a retired chart. If you follow the Dizzy Stitcher, I'm sure you may have seen this on his channel, on Darren's channel. And that is where I am at with it. Trying to leave these up long enough so I can get... Oh, missed one. So I can get pictures of previous for future videos, but we'll see how that goes. Next up is Stardew Valley Christmas. This is a still from a video game, and if I remember, Glitch Stitch AU is the charter on Etsy. And this is what it will look like when it's done. Stardew Valley is not my favorite computer game, and I saw Crafty Gaming Jamie stitching the seasonal Stardew Valley charts, which told me that they existed, and I had to go and start getting them. So this is the first one. And again, this is another one that I would like to get done soon, because it's small. It should be easy to get done. But that's what I've got done on it. Next in the pile is Autumn Queen. This is artwork by Bridget Ashwood, I want to say. Bridget Ashwood, yep. This is the max color version. This is what it'll look like when it's completed, if it's completed. This is not what I'm considering UFOing. It's just, I'm only going to live for so long. And I already have, I took, I'll show you this in a second. A few weeks ago, I did a tally of how many stitches I have left on all my full coverage projects and how many stitches a day I'd have to do to finish them all by certain ages, all the way up to 100. I would have to do, I think it was 704 stitches a day from now until the day I turn 100 to finish all 55 of these full coverage pieces. That's not even including what I would have to do to do my non-full coverage. So just my full coverage, I'd have to do 704 stitches a day, every day till the day I turn 100, which is unlikely. Unlikely that I'll see 100. I can be hopeful, but even if I do, unlikely that I will have the physical dexterity to be able to stitch up until I'm 100. So yeah, a lot of these are never seeing finishes. But I'm going to take the joy of working on them while I can. Anyway, this is where I am at with that one. You'll notice on a lot of these that I try a bunch of different stitching methods. Because I get bored and I want to try other things. Next is Rainy Waterloo Place. Do I have this one marked as? What do I have this one marked as? Rainy Waterloo Place 50. This is one I marked as 50, get to 50% finished by the time I'm 50. Although I should mark it as a finish by the time I'm 50 because I've been working on this for a long time. This is charted by Cross Stitch Collectibles. I don't know if there's an artist attached to it. It's Rainy Waterloo Place, London, 1889, Cross Stitch Collectibles. There is not an artist attached to it. I think it's just an old stock image. But that is what it looks like when it's done. This is what it looks like currently. I'm currently 24% finished with this. So I think I could even change that to 75 by the time I'm 50. And that wouldn't be unreasonable. All right, next is the Hanged Tree, artwork by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. This is where I am at with it. And you can tell the ones that I have enjoyed stitching on in either recently or in the past because they actually have a full page finish and beyond. Most of the ones that don't have a full page finish are either newer or older, and I just ignore them. This is Haunted House, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I believe this is a retired. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is retired or not. I thought all of Donna Gelsinger was retired from Haid. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I feel like I bought this before it got retired, though. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments to let people know if I'm right or not. But this is what it'll look like when it's done. This is a huge piece. I started this around Halloween last year. I haven't made it very far on it yet because I really haven't decided what way I want to stitch it. But I think currently I've been trying some. I'll come to a piece where you'll see what I've been trying lately. But I think what I'm settling on right now is Max Color Stitcher. I'm sorry, I've forgotten her actual name. Yeah, I've forgotten her actually. I watch her every week, and I can't think of her name right now, so I apologize for that. But she goes 10 by 10 row, and I really like the way a piece looks being completed row by row down like that. So 10 by 10 row is a little too little for me. So what I'm currently starting to play with is a row of 20, doing two rows of 10 and doing 20 across. So that's what I'm going to be playing with on a lot of my pieces. And when I get to the piece, I'll show you all the things that I was been playing with. But so I think that's what I'm going to end up doing here, is going in a diagonal too, because I like working in a diagonal. I've tried the 10 by 10 or row of 20 before and tried to do it in the, with just the box as my guide, each 10 by 10 box. And I don't like doing it that way. I like working in a diagonal, but I also like seeing it come together top down. So that's what I'm going to be playing with. A diagonal of 20 down. I know, like, Jen the Caffeinated Crafter is doing the same thing, but she's doing 30. She's doing 30 down and across. I'm going right in the middle of that and doing 20. Nope, that's Ginger. You guys have seen Ginger before. We did adopt a new kitten in September too, after I made my last video. So she might pop into frame. I think she's out there sleeping right now though. But Ginger is not happy that her food bowl is empty right now, and that doesn't get filled until after I'm done with this video. She must see something outside of the window. Okay, next is Cat Race, artwork by Jeff Haney, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I love this artwork. I really want to make some progress on this over the next year or so. I haven't decided on my goal on this yet, but I do want to really put some work into this one. This is where I'm at with it. Next is Gothic. Is it Gothic Castle? No, it's Gothic Princess and Moonlit Palace. Artwork by Art Revivalist. It's charted by Stitch is So Beautiful. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is one that came up on Facebook, has a new chart like last year or the year before, I don't remember, but I loved it and had to buy it immediately. This is come on. All right, come on. This is where I am at with it. I have a page done, but then I kind of decided to stop working by page and started going into diagonals. But that's where I'm at with it. It's another one I'd like to really get back to. This next one is Simply Meant to Be artwork by Sherry Gerhardt, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This, I gotta go all the way across. This is where I'm at with it. I have, again, gone a couple of different ways with this. This is one I'm going to get into that row by row method on, and hopefully get down to Jack's head, and hopefully start enjoying it more once I start seeing Jack come into the picture. Because as it stands right now, I don't love working on this one. So this is a potential UFO. Next is Enchanted Glimpse, artwork by Julie Fain, I believe. Yes, Julie Fain. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And if I can hit the right buttons on my tablet, I can show you what it'll look like when it's finished. And this is one I obviously have enjoyed working on in the past. I don't touch it very often anymore. So I don't know if I've just lost the mojo for this one. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to, or what. But this is one that could potentially be on the bubble if I can't get back into it. Because I rarely pick this one up. And I know I just have too many full coverage projects, and the new shiny always gets my attention. Next is Hostia Españas. Artwork is by Deviant Enis Guerrero. Yeah, Enis Guerrero. This was my Secret Santa a couple years ago from Unconventional Cross Stitch. That's what it'll look like when it's done. And this is where I am at with it. Get everything back right. Okay. Next is Inner Depths, artwork by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a max color. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is kind of the opposite. There's outer depths, and there's the outer frontier and inner depths. I kind of consider them kind of. I don't know if Chris Ortega meant them as companion pieces, but I think of them as companion pieces because of their names. And that is where I am at with it. Again, this is one I've really enjoyed working on in the past, and I'd like to get back to because it has fallen to the wayside on all the new shiny. In This Moment, artwork is by Jeremiah Kettner, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is one I fell in love with the artwork when Jessie Marie Does Stuff was working on it a few years ago. Probably more than a few years ago. We may even be talking pre-pandemic on that. And again, this is one of those that might be on the bubble because I still haven't even finished a page on it. I have gone, if you combine the areas outside of the page that I have done, I have probably stitched the amount of a page. But I need to fall back in love with this one, or it's probably going to end up being a UFO. Because again, it's one of those where if it comes up, I might stitch 50 stitches on it, and then I'm ready to move on to something else. Next is Forbidden. This was the last new start you guys saw. It was started right after my dad died. So you saw it on that last video. This is artwork by... is this Forbidden or is this Horror Mortis? Hang on a second. I gotta look at the... Nope, this is Horror Mortis. My mistake. Sorry. Forget everything I just said and apply it later. This is Horror Mortis. Artwork is by Alchemy England. Charted by Thread Geeks. And this is what it'll look like when it's done. And this is where I'm at with it. And once I get to Forbidden, you'll understand why I confused the two. So that's where I'm at with it. I have a bunch of Thread Geeks charts in my stash because I bought a bunch before they got rid of retired all of their human artists and went to mostly AI or AI assisted artists. So I have several in my stash from them because I spent a little bit too much money buying up a few that I wanted. And next is A Cozy Evening. Artwork is by Borda Danut, or Adrian Borda Danut. It says copyright Borda Danut Adrian. I'm assuming Adrian is the first name. This is charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is what it'll look like when it's done. Again, I love the artwork on this piece, but I struggle working on it. And this is where I'm at with it. I'm hoping going the 2 rows across and getting into some of the night sky at the top and then to the fire escape on the other side and then starting just to get into other bits of it as I go. That's what I like about the row by row method is you go through different pieces of the thing and it keeps it, I think that'll keep it exciting. Next is Meeting on the Turret Stairs. This is Art of the Antiquities. I don't know if there's an artist attached to this. Yeah, Frederick William Burton. Okay. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. And this is where... Oh, that's because there's another one attached to this. Okay. This is where I'm at with it. I started it in the middle. And I have some of these that I started in the middle because I wanted to get to something right away because everything I was in the corner and in background on and it was killing me. I needed to have stuff that I could see something coming together on. But I don't love the middle start. So I'm working on ways to get back to ways I like stitching on these middle start ones. Next is this looks like Afterglow, which is from Charting Creations, and artwork is by Sangrde, Sangrde. I don't know. This is what it'll look like when it's done, though. Very anime style. That's what I loved about it. And that's where I'm at with it. Oh boy, I got a long ways to go here. I think we're going 2 parts for the I'll have to find another time to do the non-full coverage part this week, so that I can get both up this week and just start just start being able to do updates. Because I'm not even to my second pile yet. I still got a ways to go till I get to my second pile. I'm at 30 minutes and it's 5:45 in the evening, and I'm starting to get hungry. So next is Dragonkin, artwork by Ann Stokes, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I just closed my pattern keeper. Not the chart, the mock-up. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This, which way does this go? This way. This is where I am at with it. I wanted to start this one in the middle when I started it, because the middle is right here in the dragon's mouth. So the middle, I was going to be putting together the dragon's head, and that excited me, but I just don't like the middle start. I've done it on several, I did it on several pieces around that time. I started several pieces the same way around the same time. And then I started a new one over the past 7-8 months in the middle, knowing I didn't love the middle start, but I did it anyway. And I have fixed that one because I love working on that one. And we'll get to that one. Okay, next is Gallery of Learning. Artwork is by Randall Spangler. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is another huge chart. And this is where I'm at with it. I was playing with some checkerboard ideas with this one a couple years ago. And now I don't pull this one out a lot because I don't like the position I'm in with what I have done, even though I do like working on it. But I think I'm just going to start going across the top and see how we go. This one is Stolen Harvest. This is artwork by Annie Steg. Annie Steg, yep. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I am at with it. I have 4 pages done on it. I started, you can see spots I started. I was going to do this page. I was going to start doing random pages, so I started this page. And here, it was very recently, I was going to go down to do a diagonal straight through. Over here was a couple months ago. I decided I was going to try to do this in columns. So you can see how I was staggering every other stitch there into the next column so I wouldn't get lines. I gotta decide if I want to continue trying this way with this one or if I want to go across the top. Because if I go across the top again, I'm not seeing top of her head until I get to about here, maybe. Whereas if I go column by column, I'll get into that dragon almost right away. This one I just had on the Q-Snap yesterday through a wheel spin. Yesterday I was playing with one focus piece that I would do 100 stitches on, then I'd spin a wheel and do 100 stitches on a random piece, and then do another 100 stitches on the focus piece, and then spin the wheel and do 100 stitches on another random piece, back and forth. It was kind of fun. Kind of fun thing to keep in the back pocket on days where you just want some variety. But this is Spread Your Wings. This was a restart. This is artwork by Renee Biertempfel. Art charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. When I first started it, I had started up in this corner with all orange. So this is another one that I went to a middle start so that I could start to see something, and then didn't like the middle start. But I don't want to restart it again. This is where I'm at with it. Just yesterday, I was starting to take a 10 by 10 row out, but I think I'm going to change that to a row of 20 and take it out to the edge, and then take it out to the other edge. And then I think what I'm going to do is just go back and forth, rows of 20. Get the center one done, and then do one at the top, one at the bottom, one at the top, one at the bottom, and just work it that way. Next is Steam Invasion. This is relatively new start. It's a chart I've had forever, but I finally started it. It is charted by Tilton Crafts. Artist is Rosanna Castellano. It's kind of got, a little bit of steampunk / anime vibe to it, and that's why I bought it, but I never got around to starting it. And I finally just had this scrap of fabric that was just the right size for it, so I finally started it. So this is where I'm at with it. All of my projects, by the way, are either on 25 or 28 count, even weave, Lugana, full cross. I've tried half cross a few times, and I know I'd probably get a lot more finished if I switched a lot of these to half cross. I just like the full cross. So, but that's where I'm at with Steam Invasion. You see, again, I was gonna take a diagonal out that way, but I don't think I'm gonna do that now. Next is Dragon Castle. This is artwork by, if I can find it on my, artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny. I should have known that. Charted by Charting Creations. This is what it'll look like when it's done. Is it Charting Creations? Pretty sure it's Charting Creations. Yeah, it's Charting Creations. And this is where I'm at with it. Started that within the past year. Jan Patrick Krasny has one that was Castle Wolves. It used to be a project I had going, and I scrapped it to turn the fabric into something I was more excited about. Now I kind of wish I hadn't done that, because I'd like to restart Castle Wolves. This is Remember a Day. Artwork is by Chris Down. This is what it'll look like when it's done. And this is where I'm at with it. Next one is Quick Stitch Arthur, artwork by Jeff Haney, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is, this is what it'll look like when it's done. It's getting kind of bled out from all my lights that I have on. I have every light in this room on, including 2 ring lights, and my lighting still sucks. This is where I'm at with it, and this is one of the ones that I would like to finally get finished. Next is Blackberry Dragon. This is charted by Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by... I felt like I knew off the top of my head, and apparently I don't. Oh, come on, where is it? There it is. Stanley Morrison. This is another one you may recognize from Dizzy Stitcher. This was a center start. I've been all over the place on this one. This was a center start, and then I was going to color complete the black, which I did a good amount of, and then I decided I wanted to get up to the top corner and start working in the diagonal. But this has been stitched a lot of ways, and I feel like I can get a good amount of progress in on this by the time. I think I could probably get this to between 50 and 75% by the time I turn 50. Next is Eclipse. This was on one of my restarts in the center. Artwork, I think this is Chris Down again. Yeah, Chris Down. Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I am at with it. I think that's right side up. Yeah, that's right side up. So that's where I'm at with it. And I got to do something to make this enjoyable to work on again. Probably the same thing I'm going to do with Spread Your Wings. Is take a center row out and then go top bottom. This is Forbidden. This is the one I started within the week after my dad died. This is artwork by Spiral Direct, charted by Heaven and Earth. No, not charted by Thread Geeks. It's either Spiral Direct or Alchemy England that Thread Geeks just re-signed. I don't remember which. I think it's Alchemy England, though, that Thread Geeks just re-signed. But this is what it'll look like when it's done. I originally, in my last video, said I was going to try to have this done by the year anniversary of my dad's death. And I talked a bit about what inspired me to do this. I'll link that last video down because I really don't want to go into it right now for time's sake. But if you're interested, I'll link the last video in the end cards. But now you'll understand why I got confused between it and Horror Mortis, because all I have is a bunch of black up in the corner. Next is Sunset in Venice, artwork by, is it David Davidson? Oh, this is one I had forgot to. I got a new tablet, and a few of my older pieces I forgot to put back in until I went to try and work on them and went, wait, why isn't this in Pattern Keeper? Dominic Davidson. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I'm at with it. This is another one of those that could be on the bubble. Again, I love the artwork, but I don't pick it up that often. Next is Scotty Goddess of the North. This is artwork by Dusan Markovic, charted by Charting Creations. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I am at with it. This was the first one I ever tried, that really long middle diagonal going from the top corner. And you can see I've done this a few different ways. I've got more than 2 pages done on this. I do really enjoy working on this one. This is one I would like to see very significant progress on in the next year and a third. Next is Dragon Charm, artwork by Ann Stokes, charted by, I think it's Pain Free Crafts. If I ever find it in here, I will. There it is. Yeah, Pain Free Crafts. That's what it'll look like when it's done. That's where I'm at with it. You'll notice a lot of my later starts are not Heaven and Earth designs. Anything that's Heaven and Earth designs, I started within the first... I've been stitching for about 10 years now, so within about the first 5 to 6 years of me stitching. After the... I was already starting to fall a little out of love with Haid when I was during the 2024 sale. But then after the 2024 sale and 2025, between the changes they made to the sale and some personal things, I just really started falling out of love with Haid. And I think that's part of why I struggle sometimes to pick up my Heaven and Earth Designs pieces, is because I prefer other companies now. This is Be With You, charted by artwork by Jeff Haney, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a tribute piece to all of our lost feline fur babies, which is 4 of them. And this is where I'm at with it. Not very far. Finally through the first pile. 47 minutes in. Last one of the first pile. Hopefully the second pile I can blast through quicker. It's a little bit smaller pile. So next is Mermaid. Artwork is by Alina Lazareva, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is one that I had the physical chart of. I had bought the physical chart on clearance from them. And then when they had their big 0809 debacle and they started sending charts out to fix the 0809 issue, they sent me a digital copy of it because I had owned the physical copy of it. So I had 2 charts that I bought in clearance that I ended up getting digital copies of because of the 0809 fix. The other one I haven't started. It's a Dominic Davidson scenic chart. This is where I'm at with it. This is another one of the ones that could be on the bubble if I can't really get myself into it. Now, next pile. I can slide this pile back over where it was. Let's start pulling from this. Okay. And my pattern keeper closed. Okay, next is the main one I would like to finish by the time I'm 50. It is The Outer Frontier, artwork by Chris Ortega. I have been working on it almost as long as I've been stitching. That is the PDF, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is the piece I have the most into. But I'm only just over 50% on it. I am at 51.71% on it. And I've got a trail of stitches down to the bottom because I wanted to make sure I had enough bottom. So this is what it looks, where I'm at with it. You can see I've been all over the place on it. I've done diagonal, I've done page by page, I've done color I've gone for color completion. I've done just about everything on this one. I did a big long diagonal at one point. This I would like to have done by the time I turn 50. But unfortunately, it's falling into that realm of I'm not choosing my hates. Next is Cozy Winter Book Nook. Artwork is by Rose Catherine Kahn. Is it Rose Catherine Kahn? I feel like it's Rose Catherine Kahn. I hear Max Color Stitcher say it a lot. And Crafty Gaming Jamie. It says Rose Kahn on here, but I feel like it's Rose Catherine Kahn. Rose Kahn, Cozy Winter Book Nook. You see this on Crafty Gaming Jamie's channel if you follow her, and if you don't, you should. There's what it looked like when it's done. This is a huge piece. This is where I'm at with it. This is one I would like to make a lot of significant progress on. Because this is one that could potentially not be finished before I leave this earth because it's so huge, but it is one I would like to see finished. Definitely not by my 50th birthday, but maybe by my 60th. Don't pull from that pile, pull from this pile. Next is another Crafty Gaming Jamie inspired chart. This is Autumn Harmony, charted by Maxine. Artist is Maxine Gadd, charted by her, available on her website. This is what it'll look like when it's done. And this is my minuscule start on it. Next is Winter City. Artwork is... Close Pattern Keeper again. Artwork is by... Let's see if Carla Gerard. See if I got that right. Carla Gerard. Charted by Stitch Is So Beautiful. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I started this one in the lower right corner, or lower left corner if you're looking at it. Down that red house down there. This is where I am at with it. This is one I really enjoy working on. So I would like to see some significant progress in this one over the next year and a third. Next is Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know if I even really need to show the mock-up on this one. I think everybody knows this piece, but there's the... I have my rotate on, so there's that. This is where I'm at with it. So I've got 3 pages done, when I was stitching by page. I'd probably like to see at least 25% done on that, I think. I do like working on it when I pick it up, but it tends to fall to the wayside. Next is a newer start. You guys haven't seen this one. This is The Farewell. art by Claudia McKinney, charted by Thread Geeks. This is one of the ones I bought. No, it's not one of the ones I bought before they retired. Well, it is one of the ones I bought before they retired everything. It was just in the first wave of things I bought before they retired everything. So that is what it'll look like when it's done. And I have just a small start up there in the corner. This is the one I'm definitely going to try to do the 20 rows of 20 on, because I think that'll look really cool coming together from top down. I think most things just look really cool coming together from top down. I love the look of things coming together from top down. Every time I watch one of Max Color Stitcher's videos, it makes me want to go row by row. Next is the Muses. Artwork is by Tamara Markegard, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Some of these Heaven and Earth Design ones too, I think some of them are retired when she retired a bunch of artists several years ago. The problem is I don't know which ones were caught up in that. So if you're interested in these and you go to buy it and it's retired, I apologize. I just don't know. So here's where I'm at with it. Again, I was doing a huge long diagonal. I actually had started it in the center. And I did the huge long diagonal after I did the one on Scotty Goss of the North. And yeah, because if you're not in the center on this one, you are in sky. So I wanted to try and get to stuff other than sky, but I don't pick it up because I haven't figured out which way I want to work on it. Next is Baldu Mask 9 Story Keep, artwork by Babette Vandenberg, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I am at with it. You can see I was doing some color completion. Got into the top of her head in the mirror. Next is... I'm not sure if this is new since the last time you saw me or not. I don't think it is. I think this might have been in my last video. No Place Like Home 1. Artwork is Echo Chernick, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is what it'll look like when it's done. There is a much larger piece that's like over 1 million stitches wide. That is two more women with these people in gas masks in the background and owls and creepy looking stuff, and so you can buy the full thing, or you can buy it the 3 different pieces. No Place Like Home 1, 2, and 3 has a triptych. So that's what I decided to do. So I have No Places Home 1. I haven't bought 2 and 3 yet, but this is one I would like to see finished one day because I would like to finish the triptych. So here is where I'm at with it. I enjoy working on that one. Even though it's a lot of black, I enjoy working on it. This is Succubus. I think this is Echo Chernick again. No, this is Christopher Lavelle, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I saw a completed piece of this. The person who was doing it was stitching all of their progress on it, and saw it coming together, and then saw the finished piece. It's one I've been in love with for a long time, and once I saw the finished piece, I had to buy it. But Just a small start of it up on the corner. Next is a new start since the last time you saw me. This is Alchemist Secret. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It is Herbalist Helper. This is artwork by Ivy Dunsmore. Charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is retired. Unconventional Cross Stitch retired all of Ivy Dunsmore's work. Contract. I hope someday they get the contract with her back. Because there are pieces, Rose Library especially, that I didn't get. I decided to live vicariously through Crafty Gaming Jamie on that one. And I regret not getting it now. I focused on some of her other artwork because I couldn't afford everything. So this is what it'll look like when it's done. And this is where I'm at with it. I know, Chips. We'll be eating real soon. Dog keeps coming in and looking at me. Next is Quarantine Cats, artwork by Bridget Ashwood, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This was released around the time of the pandemic, and that was not the right chart. Why did you do that? This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is where I'm at with it. I don't pick this one up a ton, and I desire to. This is the thing. I do desire to pick this one up. Like, I do want to put a lot of work into this. It's just I think it started off so confetti heavy in those curtains, and at the time I wasn't as into doing confetti as I am now. Like, I don't mind it as much as I used to. Like, sometimes I actually prefer doing confetti over block stitching these days. So I really would like to get back into that one. I don't want that one to become One-Eye UFO because I do crave picking that one up. Next is Cheese Delivery. Artwork by Chris Dunn, charted by Pain Free Crafts. This is one I always call Cheese Shop because it looks more like a cheese shop than a cheese delivery, but I understand why it's called Cheese Delivery because that is the cheese delivery man dropping off the cheese. I get why it's titled that way. It just looks more like it should be called Cheese Shop to me, so I always refer to it as Cheese Shop. Again, this is another one I would like to get some significant progress in. This is where I'm at with it. I've got just over probably 3 pages worth of stitching in, but just over about close to 2.5 pages across the top. Next is Oracle of Visions, artwork by Cheryl Marchetti, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. This is what mine looks like. Next is Life is a Dance in the Rain. This is an unconventional, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. Where are you? Okay. Artwork is by Borda Danut Adrian. Same as Cozy Evening. This is what it looks like when it's done. I think this is Life is a Dance in the Rain 1. There's a couple that are titled Life is a Dance in the Rain, just with a number after them. And this is where I'm at with it. This starts off, the farewell starts off very much in the similar colors as this one, which are similar colors to Rainy Waterloo Place. So I don't get to these sometimes because I feel like I should, if I'm going to do those colors, I should work on Rainy Waterloo Place. But this is my most recent start. This is Whispers of the Wind, Whispers of the Wild, artwork by Andrea Hrnjak, Hrnjak, charted by Thread Geeks. This is one I bought in the rush to get artists before they were retired in favor of AI. And here is where I'm at with it. Okay, this is a pretty recent start too. This is Loading. This is artwork by, I want to say, yeah, Mrs. Butter D, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is what it'll look like when it's done. Really love this one. I really like working on it too. This is one I've started a couple of different ways. I started in the diagonal, was going pretty good on that, but then I started trying some stuff. I started doing, I did a row of just 2 stitches all the way to the other side. And I've kind of played with that, wondered how that would go. I was just doing row of 2 stitches at a time all the way down. And I didn't not enjoy it, but then I like to see more progress at one time. So I went to a 10, and you can see where I've started a row of 10 right here, but I think I want to expand that to a row of 20. Two left. Yep, 2 left. Okay, this is Fly Away. This is artwork by Alan. Something Alan. While I search for it in here. Where are you? There it is. Jessica Elaine. Here is what it'll look like when it's done. I've got a lot of Jessica Elaine charts too, and I would like to start more of them. And here is where I'm at with it. I've got 3 pages done across. Then I was going to do some color completion to try and outline her more. And now I think I'm just going to do the rows across. I had this one on the Q-Snap yesterday. It was one of the random hundreds that I pulled. And next is recent start. This is artwork again by Ivy Dunsmore. One of the ones I bought before her artwork was retired, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. This is Enchanting Brew. Dang it. One more left and you can't cooperate with me. Okay. Ivy Dollamore. Sorry, not Dunsmore. Ivy Dollamore. I think I said Dunsmore the last time, and that's incorrect. It's Dollamore. This is what it'll look like when it's done. Because I really love this one. This, I started in the middle. This is the one I was talking about where I've gone. You'll see all the things I've been playing with, other than that row of 2 stitches that I did on Loading. This is where I'm at with it. So I started it in the middle. And I was going to complete like the full Q snap in the middle and then pick another spot to go. And then I decided to do the big long diagonal from the center, which I did, and then I was just going to go back and forth on the diagonals. And then yesterday it spun for the 100 stitches, so then I decided I was going to go start the row of 20 across the top. And I love working on this one. I really love this piece. So this is one I'm going to make significant progress in over the next year and a third, because I just really love it. And that is it. That's my full coverage WIPs. I will find a time, hopefully before the week's end, to film my non-full coverage WIPs. And then hopefully I can start doing at least bi-weekly, if not weekly, update videos. I just got to figure out how to make it a priority in my life again. Because it's really easy, especially after 10 months of not recording, to just go, I don't feel up to it. Especially with everything that I got going on in my life and in my mind, and everything that I need to do for my mom. Which, I'll talk more about in life update in a future Flosstube video. But that's all my full coverage WIPs, all 55 of them, I believe, is the number. Excuse me, I've been talking a long time. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Help my channel grow, because I would really like to get back to showing you guys my cross stitch more often, and bring that joy back into my life. Other than that, I just heard the bell for the back door, which means the dog wants out, so that's perfect timing, and you'll see me in the next one.